Today, we're going to be mounting an exterior Molle panel on the 5th Gen 4Runner. I'll show you which panel I chose and why, what's included in the kit, and what I believe to be the best way to mount this panel if you're working alone. Stick around. We're going to be mounting the Rago Fabrication's exterior Molle mount on the 5th Gen 4Runner. This is what's included with the kit. It is only the panel itself, which is a super beefy 1/8 inch thick panel. This panel has the Rotopax cutouts, so you do not need a mount such as this, which you need on some of the other Molle panels. Now, I may be using it only because I want to keep the Rotopax mount together. If I attach only this, I may lose that floating around the garage somewhere. However, you can do it without. It'll attach in many different locations and orientations. It also comes with a roof rack specific bracket. So I'm mounting this on the Prinzu today. They also make brackets that are designed for both the Rago Fabrications roof rack as well as the Sherpa roof rack. Now, there have been other people who have successfully mounted this Molle panel on other roof racks. So it is possible with some minor modifications in most cases. It comes with 2 suction cups from Ram Mounts. That's the name of the company who actually makes the suction cups. And these will be installed on the back of the Molle panel. There's a few ways to mount this. You can put the bracket onto the panel and mount it all as one unit. However, today, because I'm working alone, which I do in most cases, and I know a lot of you who watch the videos work alone, you don't have that extra set of hands. I'm going to mount the bracket first, and then I'm going to put the panel up to the bracket so I can make my adjustments. This thing is a lot heavier than you may think, and with the bracket, it becomes a little awkward to orientate it on the roof rack bolts. So let's go over to the vehicle and I'll show you how to mount this up. Stepping up to the back part of the roof rack, keep in mind this is the Prinzu, yours might be different. I'm going to remove these 2 bolts which hold the rear crossbar. I'm going to remove these 2 bolts which hold this crossbar as well. If you don't have crossbars in the same location I have, it's okay. A lot of these racks have the slots, and the bracket that we're going to mount right now also has slots. So there's a lot of flexibility and adjustability either way. Also, if you don't have bolts, I'm going to reuse these bolts going into the bracket. The slots can also use bolts with nuts, which are provided in the kit. I'm not going to be needing those today. I'm just going to reuse 4 bolts for the mount right here. The trickiest part is if you have a crossbar that you're removing bolts for, and you have something on top of the roof like I have, you remove those bolts, that bar is going to want to drop. So it's going to be a pain in the butt to get your hand underneath, lift it to line the bolts up again, and install the bracket at the same time. So I have put together different woods to pretty much stack up and hold the bars up when I remove these bolts. This is a 4mm Allen head. You do not need a power tool. You can do this all by hand. Now we are ready to mount the bracket. So the bracket will just simply sit, and you'll see the grooves kind of line up, and you have a lot of the adjustability side to side. So we'll replace the bolts in the front and in the back, and we will keep them only hand tight so we can still move the bracket around as we mount the panel to the bracket. So you can see this slides back and forth, so it allows me to align my panel right now. And we're going to get the panel ready now to mount up on that bracket that we just put up. So they give you an unbelievable amount of hardware, way in excess as far as I'm concerned. But since I collect nuts and bolts, that makes me very happy. Before we mount this up, we're going to be installing the suction cups, and I'm going to do the Rotopax mount. I want to show you how these suction cups work because they're actually quite cool and they're extremely strong. So it's made by Ram Mounts. There's an off and an on. So right now you'll see this is in the off position. So I will put it down on the table and just give it a little pressure and then push it over in a circular motion to the on position. The suction cup locks down, and I can lift this entire table up with this suction cup. So to remove it, just go off, and then there's a little tab here, just pull that up. They only require 2 Phillips heads, which obviously it comes with, and they will mount underneath. And I'm going to tilt this up so maybe the camera will see it better, but there are 2 kind of circular cutouts here, and that's where the suction cups will mount to. If you are not someone who works with power tools often, or you have new tools and you're not used to the setting, I would suggest that you use hand tools. So I have this in the lowest setting. I'm just going to get that down. You can easily strip this out. All right, I made a last minute decision to leave the bracket off. I'm just gonna have to label it and put it somewhere where I'm gonna remember where it is. So all I'm doing is just 2 bolts in the back. Right here, I'm gonna mount it in this center part here. So if I just flip this up, so I have my bolts just sitting on top here, and these are the Allen head with the washer, the short ones that come with the kit. So there's only 6 of them, 6 mounts. So the mounts are going to be right here, 2, 4, 6. So this is why I say it makes it a little easier install for one person. Now I'll just install these 6 bolts hand tight, and then I can slide everything into place until I have it all lined up. Looks like everything is going to slide over that way. Now we're going to get these suction cups all tightened down. You press, and then you turn. You can just reach right through those holes to lock it in, and that locks it in super tight. Just give you an idea of how strong this thing is. All right, let's get a close-up. All right, here is a close-up of the Molle panel all installed, lined up. Super simple install, guys. Do not be intimidated by an install such as this. Simply install the bracket, and you could use the existing bolts that are in your roof rack already, or you can use the bolts provided and actually go through the slots for cutouts and use the nuts that they provided. 2, 4, 6 mounts to the bracket for the panel. 2 of the suction cups from Ram Mount. They'll only need 2 Phillips heads each. And then your option, if you use Rotopax, to mount the Rotopax. I'll show you how it looks with the gas can on. All right, don't forget you can mount that any way you want. So if I mount it this way, I can mount my Rotopax upright. Thanks for sticking around till the end of the video, guys. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I'd really appreciate that. Also, give the video a like. It helps the channel out more than you can imagine. I will be doing a video and releasing a real cool 4-tire inflation system I designed. That will be on the website soon at azoverland.net. I'll leave a link below for that. I have a ton more content coming up, so stick around, and I'll see you in the next one.